Okay, everybody. Well, I took my plane out again this morning, and as you can see, I had a pretty bad crash, and my front cone popped off, broke off. So what I'm going to do today is do a quick little video here on how I'm going to replace it. I thought it was my flying, but actually what happened was my servos separated from the unit, and I was getting no control. So what I'm going to do is in another video I'll be fixing that later on today. So let's get started with repairing this front cone. It's not so bad, and it shouldn't take that long. First off, what we got to do is we're going to take off this nose cone. Just a little twisting and it pops off. We have a little nut here on this front propeller. Take that off. Let's get the right wrench here. They're not that tight. You can do it with your finger once you just get it loosened up. And what I like to do is I like to take all these small pieces, and I have a little magnetized container here. You could probably pick up at, I would imagine, Harbor Freight or any auto shop. It's magnetized so you don't lose anything. It's kind of cool. You can actually set it on the side. You can do whatever you want. We'll take the prop off, set it aside. And what we're going to do next is we're going to take off this front cowl. Just get a very small Phillips. And of course, with styrofoam, everything comes off pretty easy. Put it in my little magnetized cup there. Take this other one off. That's what's nice. Like I said, that's what's nice about these beginner foam planes. You can repair them instead of going out there and buying something new. At one point, probably with the 10 or 15 pounds of tape you may put on there, you're going to have to go start buying some new parts, but just save that until you have to. We'll take off the cowl, and you can see the cowl is in good shape, no cracks. We'll set that aside for later. Put that back on. Here you can see my motor mount. And where it actually cracked was where my phone crack is here. The rest of it just kind of popped off from the little spikes you have to keep that motor assembly on. So what we're going to do is it actually fits on there pretty nice. I'm going to kind of just spread it up a little bit to get in there. What I did here is I went to my local hobby shop when I first, yesterday when I started to make other repairs, to pick up some glue, super glue, but it doesn't create heat, so you don't get your styrofoam all melted. What I'm going to do is kind of just spread some in there. Get that all in there where it's going to stick. I'm not going to get glue around my spikes in case I want to take that other spot off later, but I'm going to kind of get some glue in there, fix that up. In this large area, since the styrofoam has all these little nodules in there, it's okay if you kind of be a little liberal with all that glue that you want to put in there. Just going to make sure you get it in there. To save your glue, you might want to make sure that you get used to putting your caps back on, because if that tips over while you're working, it's not going to be too much fun. And then what I'm going to do is just, of course, just push that back on there. I'm going to hold it for a few seconds just to get it the initial start of that glue going to work. And then what I do is, as you've noticed my first video, I like to be prepared, so I already have some tape pieces pre-cut just so I can get it in there. These are just going to be some initial pieces just to kind of hold that glue together. Put one right there. That glue will set. You don't really have to put a whole bunch of tape on there from what I've noticed. It's just to kind of get it going, get the set down. Put it on nice and tight though, you know. It'll help out in the end. So we know that's going. Get that there. It's really not that hard, as I said. You just kind of take your time. It looks like my motor is a little crooked here. I'm going to have to go in there and fix that too. And that's probably because at this end it needs a little dab of glue. So let's do that while we're here. Get that set in there and taped. I didn't want it to stay, so let's get another piece of tape here. Put that on there. Good. My motor's nice and straight now. Looks like I could use a little adjusting. I'll adjust that with the dampeners in a minute. Make sure there's nothing else there that needs to be done. But when you're looking at it, that's, like I said, that's pretty secure. And then to put everything back together, of course, what you're going to want to do is do everything in reverse order. Going to put that cowl back on, that cowl hood back on. You need a little bit of play on your prop, so that's actually pretty good. If you notice, don't put that too tight, or you're going to lose some power in your motor. And if you look at your prop, you have two positions. You have one that just has a small opening, and you have one that actually is going to fit around that nut. You want to make sure that that's the right way, so you don't, so you don't lose your power, and that prop just doesn't spin. And then what you're going to do is put the nut back on there, put your nose cone back on there, and you'll be ready to fly. So I'm not going to have you sit around while I do that, but easy fix on your front nose cone. The rest of the plane is in very good shape. What I'm going to do is, in a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and repair this, and I'll place it on another video. So you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.